Hi everyone, it's so nice to have you with us today. Over the next 20 minutes or so, I will be showing you what is possible with modern building automation and how you can take your company to a whole new level with Loxone. We will talk about the meaning of building automation, who and what Loxone is, how the Loxone system works, and what building automation costs. Then, we'll look at the configuration of a building with the Loxone config and show you how you can benefit from a partnership with Loxone. By the way, my colleague Jason is our chat assistant for today's webinar, which means he will provide you with interesting links and information from time to time. If you have any questions, just write them in the chat and we will get back to you after the webinar. So let's get started. Imagine a world where a building is more than just walls and a random selection of devices. A world where your building is a fully connected and intelligent system that responds to your needs and preferences. We, the Loxone Group, turn this vision into reality. We're the market leader in the field of intelligent automation solutions. Thanks to our high level of innovation, we've been pioneering in the development of software and hardware for the intelligent automation of buildings for many years. Loxone creates easy control and intelligent automation for projects of all kinds. It doesn't matter whether it's a home, hotel, office, or commercial property. Millions of people now live and work in a building automated by Loxone. More than 200,000 projects in over 100 countries have already been implemented worldwide through a partner network of independent installation companies. The Loxone Mini Server is the heart of every Loxone project and the ultimate tool for intelligent automation. The Mini Server was developed specifically for the professional electrician. As the brain, this central control unit takes care of most of the tasks in terms of security, comfort, and energy efficiency. The Mini Server's scalable structure works with numerous open interfaces and provides you with countless creative solutions. So, I've been talking about it quite a bit, but what is home and building automation actually? The official definition describes building automation as the automatic control, regulation, monitoring, and optimization of functions such as shading, lighting, heating, and other technical building equipment in an intelligent system. The focus is on comfort, security, and energy efficiency, be it in office buildings, restaurants, or other commercial or industrial buildings. When it comes to automated private residential buildings, on the other hand, they're usually referred to as smart homes. Many understand a smart home to be a building that can be controlled using a bajillion apps on your smartphone. One app to turn your lights on and off, one to control your heating system, another one to check the door camera. Not only do you need a number of apps, but you also have to do every single step yourself. However, that's not how a truly smart building works. So what makes building automation so useful? In the past, there were only a few electrical devices in a house that needed to be controlled. There were light switches and lamps. Blinds were opened and closed by hand, and the heating was controlled by the radiator. Here, we're talking about a classic installation, but you can hardly find these more simplistic types of installations anymore. Picture a modern building. There are numerous light circles. The lighting is often dimmable, the shading is electric. The heating is controlled by a thermostat, and there are often ventilation systems. In addition, many buildings have an alarm system, audio solutions for different rooms. There are electric garage doors, and so much more. Due to the energetic requirements, a PV system and a heat pump are now being added more and more. Most of this is standard today, or is even required by law in some cases, such as the implementation of a PV or solar thermal system. All of this has to be controlled somehow. So electrical controls are needed anyway. Unfortunately, this usually results in numerous individual solutions with multiple controls that end up not very visually pleasing, and countless apps to keep track of. This is anything but easy to use. With Loxone, you can combine all features of a modern building with just one system. Imagine that the lights start automatically when you get home. Every single one of your rooms has the perfect temperature at all times. And outside of these times, the heating switches to economy mode. The shading follows the path of the sun, and your house reminds you when the window is still open. It is also safer to live and work in an intelligent building because you're informed immediately in the event of a fire or burglary, and help is called. In the event of a storm or frost, the building is able to protect itself as well. But here at Loxone, we go even one step further. We make sure that all electrically controlled devices talk to each other. Only then can a building truly be automated, which results in an enormous increase in comfort and significant cost savings. So, imagine that your shading system supports the heating in order to keep the room temperature as energy efficient as possible, or that the audio system is also used as an alarm system and informs you if a window is still open at night. Or your e-car only charges when the PV system produces enough electricity. By the way, if you want to learn more about saving energy with Loxone, my colleague Jason is putting some links in the chat for you right now. But how can you control all these features? Buildings usually have various buttons for different light groups, switches for several blinds, displays for adjusting the room temperature, and so much more. This is not only impractical, but also, well, ugly. That's why we've developed the Loxone switch standard. One switch, no bigger than a regular light switch, with 5 touch points for controlling lighting, shading, and audio. The concept is extremely easy and has been tried and tested millions of times. For everything else, we have designed a beautiful and practical app. It puts the entire world of building automation at your fingertips. With the Loxone app, you can create light scenes, you're informed about what is happening in the building, and you can see exactly where energy is being produced and consumed. It allows you to create smart processes, put Loxone products into operation, manage users, communicate with visitors on your doorstep, and so much more, whether you use Android, iPhone, tablet, or PC. So, what is automation? Here at Loxone, we believe that a building must act independently without the user having to do anything. For example, the building itself should activate the lighting if it is needed, or close the shading before the sun would heat up the room. This independence is the difference to more simple control. It's about the feeling of when technology takes over countless manual tasks every day without additional action needed on your part. This way, you have more time and energy for what's really important. So, some might think that they can't afford all of this, but you would be surprised. If you look at the additional range of features compared to a modern installation, then the extra charge is only marginal. Plus, in the long run, you can even save a lot of money through real automation. In fact, you can no longer afford not to use automation. It is important to understand that when it comes to truly intelligent building, we're no longer talking about pure builds of materials like with conventional installations. We don't calculate in, X meters of cable, this many sockets, that many switches, etc. We're talking about features and functionalities. Panic mode, presence simulation, fire, water, and burglary protection, intelligent individual room control, night mode, fall detection, and so much more. A smart home can only be compared with a classic installation if you also include so-called isolated solutions for features such as access, audio, security, and others in the calculation. If you do that, it quickly becomes clear that a smart home does not necessarily have to cost more. If we only talk about the Loxone components, meaning the hardware, then we're at a starting price around 3,600 euros. For this price, you get 49 features. Compared to the classic installation, you don't have to buy such features from a variety of manufacturers. But the sky's the limit. Do you want a multi-room audio system? Do you want to impress with indirect LED lighting? Of course, it's also possible to achieve great effects with a small budget. However, I just want to mention that the more features you implement, the more synergy effects you can achieve. For instance, a motion detector can activate your lights for sure, but in combination with the audio system, it becomes a full-fledged alarm system. When we look at the costs, we also have to consider that there are figures that clearly show that a smart building can save a lot of money. Let's just think about areas such as energy management and intelligent heating. In one of the projects, a family home was fully equipped with Loxone. Here, the family managed to save almost 60% in heating and cooling energy compared to a conventional family home. With so many solutions, it can be hard deciding where to start with. A great starting point would definitely be installing an intelligent individual room control system via the Loxone mini server. Here, the investment costs are 1,500 euros, which you will have already saved in heating energy after just 1 year with this investment. So, which projects is Loxone suitable for? Thanks to various technologies wired via Loxone Tree or wireless via Loxone Air, the Loxone system is suitable for pretty much every project. In addition to its own technologies, Loxone is open to all common transmission protocols and is constantly expanding the number of supported interfaces. Loxone can be used anywhere and everywhere, regardless of whether it's a new building or the renovation and retrofit of existing buildings, but also in the commercial sector, restaurants, hotels, churches, shops, lighthouses, football stadiums. We're the market leader in professional home and building automation, but we prefer to let reference projects speak for us. So let's look at some Loxone projects from all over the world. Now I would like to take you to one of our show homes. By the way, there are many show homes or rooms all over the world. For anyone who doesn't have the space and resources to set up a whole show home or room, we've got something in store for you. Check out our free digital experience tour, which is the easiest way to showcase building automation. How exactly is such a project implemented? Our Loxone Config is the world's most powerful software for home and building automation, and it is available for everyone to download completely free of charge. Loxone partners plan and configure projects with our config. What's amazing is that while configuring, the visualization for the customer is already created in the same time. Let me just briefly explain the Loxone config to you. Logic is created using a wide variety of function blocks. Our products are simply connected to the inputs and outputs using drag and drop. Of course, you can also implement more extensive or special logics. The configuration is really easy. You don't need any programming knowledge. Loxone partners are supported by truly revolutionary config features. Number one is automatic planning and configuration. If you're planning a project, simply enter in the config's planning tool how big the rooms are, the number of doors and windows, and which functions are to be implemented in which room. After, the planning tool will provide you with all necessary products planned out, including an order list, completely automatically. And with our auto config, you can plan the entire building within a few seconds, which is a kind of magic that doesn't exist anywhere else. The auto configuration connects all components with each other: lighting, presence detection, shading, air conditioning. Everything is immediately ready for use and can be refined by you if you wish to do so. The config is our professional tool, and users use the free Loxone app to create their own settings. So let's move on to hardware. All Loxone devices are designed to work perfectly together. The installation is quick and uncomplicated thanks to plug and play. You only need to connect once and learn in via the Loxone config. Done. This opens up completely new possibilities for Loxone partners. You no longer just connect lamps and lay cables, but you can offer your customers an all-encompassing complete solution through lighting with various light sources and lamps, shading control, control elements, access solutions, audio systems, and so much more. Loxone partners become lighting designers, audio experts, energy managers, or providers of security systems with little effort. If you're missing a product, you can easily integrate another provider into the Loxone home and building automation. This is easily possible thanks to our open interfaces. Loxone products are made in Europe and are designed to last a lifetime. But how does the configuration of home and building automation work with Loxone in reality? Let's jump into the Loxone config and try a few examples. You absolutely do not need to be an IT expert to configure a Loxone building, but you'll see in just a second. We're now in the Loxone config. I've set it to be in English, but you can change it to other languages. Now, I go ahead and open the project planning tool where I can enter various information about my project and customer for better documentation. In the next window, I can specify which Loxone products I want to use for which area in the building. For instance, which touch I want to use for control, and so on. Next, I simply indicate the square meters that each individual room has, as well as the number of windows and doors, the internal doors, radiators, and so on. After that, I get a suggestion for power supplies and the power supply of the components, and I can end the planning. Within this short time, we have now put together all the products for the entire building, and I can now have a config file based on the information I put in the tool. This works fully automatically. All my products are now added, and in the next step, I will show you even more of our Loxone magic, namely our auto configuration. When I open the auto config, I can select basic features for each room, such as lighting, shading, air conditioning, music, and so on. Whatever I want to install in my room. Then I can select all my comfort functions and have them automatically pre-configured. Do I want an ambient assistant living alarm? Do I want a good night function? Frost protection, climate control, etc. Now we can create all individual rooms, insert the building blocks, link them together, and then, ta-da! I have a fully configured house where I only have to adjust a few small things myself. Those adjustments are indicated by small flags in the config. Let's look at another example of how easy it is to program something yourself in the config. Let's say a lighting controller. Let me add the function block to the config and connect it to our Loxone switch. In the config, I simply drag the switch to the side of the room and all the blocks that offer features for our switch flash immediately. Now, I can drag the switch onto the light control module and it automatically jumps to the correct input of the block with the correct input of the switch. But I can also pull the switch to the intelligent room controller function block to control the radiators. The Loxone Touch has a temperature and humidity sensor. And because of the integrated temperature sensor, it now automatically connects to the function block. In addition, I can also add a lamp, for example, our ceiling lights. I only have to drag this to the function block for lighting control, and it is automatically connected. Lastly, I need to connect the mini server and then click on Save in Mini Server. Done. That's it. We just programmed our house. Now, I also want to show you the visualization real quick and how it looks to the consumer. Whether on Android, iOS, smartphone, tablet, or as a web app on the PC. This is what the overview looks like. I can go to the lighting section and see in which rooms the lighting is active and can switch it off or create different lighting moods in different colors and save them. I can also take a look at the shading section and move it via the app, monitor security modes, and more. Of course, I can also control the air conditioning and see which rooms are currently being heated, where my comfort temperature has already been reached, or adjust the temperature manually. In a nutshell, I control my entire building from anywhere on all devices. We understand that you would now like to get started with Loxone. If you have a company with an electrical engineering background, or you're an electrical planner, you can actually do so immediately. You can make a partner request right now, or take a look around our shop right away. The partnership is completely free, and you can immediately shop our products with a partner discount. So, the success of our Loxone partners is important to us, which is why the quality of training and further education of our partners matters so much to us. Every year, Loxone offers numerous new products and innovations to the market. In our professional training courses, partners then learn how to use these to grow their business. We reward further training measures and the growing success of our partners with increasingly attractive discount levels. You can level up to be a silver, gold, or platinum partner. We will then also support you in marketing, for instance, with your own website or by displaying it in the partner search on our much visited website. At partner events, there's always the opportunity to exchange ideas with other partners from the Loxone network. And with us, their manufacturer. It actually happens that suggestions from our partners have a significant influence on new products. We're slowly coming to the end of the webinar, and you can't get enough of Loxone. Neither can we, which is why we have prepared a free beginner's course for you. We look forward to answering all of your questions in one of our next live webinars. I would suggest checking them out and registering today. You now have the opportunity to become a Loxone partner directly for free, to ask questions in a live webinar and learn more about the technology, or to discuss a planned project directly with a partner coach. So that's it from me today. If you would like to find out more about Loxone, you can always visit our social media channels. We post regularly on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. Feel free to have a look, and I'll hopefully see you again very soon, maybe even as a Loxone partner.